Hey everyone. Today I'm going to work on showing you how to take a PDF worksheet, for example, and turn it into a document that can be edited by your students online. So the first thing I did is I searched the internet for some fun worksheets concerning baseball or softball, and so I found one and I downloaded it to my computer. And so right here it is. It opened in Chrome in the browser. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller so I can see the entire page. And it's actually a 2-page document. So the first thing I have to do is I have to make this worksheet an image. So on Windows, one of the ways you can do that is by using the snipping tool. So I'm going to go to the search button if I've got Windows 10, and I'm just going to start typing snipping tool. And you can see that it pops up. So I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to do a new. So click new. And then your mouse becomes crosshairs. So now I'm going to hold left mouse button down. And I'm going to highlight page 1 here, all the information I want. And I'm going to say File, Save As, and I've got a folder called Captures, and you can see I've done this once before testing it. So we're going to call this one Baseball Strainers Page 1 because there's 2 pages to this. So we'll say Page 1, Save, and then I'll just go ahead and hit New because I'm going to have to get the second page. But as you notice, I just hit it and I can't do anything. So I'm going to hit Escape to back out. I'm going to scroll down so I can see page 2. Now I'll hit New again. And I'm going to highlight and select the page 2 that I want as my image. And I'm going to say File, Save As, going back to that same folder. And I'm going to call it Baseball Strainers Page 2, just so I can keep it straight. All right, so I'm going to close out of the the snipping tool. So I'm going to close it. I'm also going to close my PDF here. And what I'm actually going to do now is go to my Google Classroom or my Google Drive. So I'm going to open up a new window here. Say New Window. And let me move this out of my way real quick. All right, so what I'm going to do is create a new slide. So I hit the 9 little buttons here, the waffle iron, if you will, and I'm going to click on Slides. And I want a blank slide. Okay, by default, the slides appear to be a size widescreen, 16 by 9. But in the event that I need to perhaps print my worksheet or most worksheets are handed out on 8.5 by 11 paper, I want to change the size. So I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Page Setup. And as you can see, the default 16.9. I'm going to go to Custom, and I'm going to change it to 8.5 by 11 and say Apply. So now you can see that it actually looks like a piece of paper. Now I don't need these text boxes, so I'm just going to click on them to select them and hit Delete on the keyboard. So basically I get a blank piece of paper. So what I need to do now is add my images that I took of my PDF worksheet. Most people would typically want to go to Insert Image, and we're going to say Upload from Computer because I saved it on my computer, and it went right into the capture. So I'm just going to say Baseball Strainers Page 1, and I popped it in here. Well, look what happens. I can move it around, right? So as a student begins to work on this and edit it, the student's going to be able to do that. They could even possibly hit Delete and delete it. Well, that's not what we want. So the best way to do that would be go to Slide, Change Background. You're going to choose an image, and we're going to say Upload because it's on my computer, so I'll browse. And right here we find Page 1 and we say Open. and then we say done. Now as I'm clicking on this image file, I can't move it and I can't delete it, which is what you want. All right, now how are the students going to answer or fill in the document? So the best way to do that is with a text box. So now I'll insert a text box, and I'll just go over here and drag my text box right on top of this line and drop it. Now, if you notice, if I click off of it, it doesn't appear that I have a text box that I can answer with. So one of the ways you can work around that is to go ahead and click back in that text box, perhaps, and type click here, or answer, click here to answer, or something to draw the student's attention to that area. Now I would need to put that text box on every field that I want the student to complete. So instead of having to draw it and type it, I could just do a copy and paste. So I'm going to highlight the text box and do Control-C. I'm going to click off, and then I'm going to do Control-V. Then I have that text box that I can move around. So we're just going to drop it to the next one, hit Control-V again, drop it on this one, Control-V. So I'm going to go through that process and get those dropped in here. Control-V. Okay. I'm going to do it on the other side as well. Doesn't fit real good in here, so I'm going to adjust this one just a little bit, just to make it a little different. Now, I need to copy this new one because I changed it just a little bit. I need to copy this new text box, so I'm going to Control-C on it, click off, and Control-V. Now I've got the new text box copied, so now I'm just hitting Control-V, and I'm dropping them in. There we go. So bear with me just a moment while I finish dropping these in. All right, so now I have my worksheet. I have the background image, which is my worksheet, and then I have the text boxes that the students can answer. Now I did have a second page, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert another page. So you can do Control-M to insert, or go to slide and new slide. If you notice, it's still that same size. I don't necessarily need these text boxes, so I'm going to delete them. Then I'm going to change the background. We're going to do choose an image. We're going to browse. This is page 2, so here's my page 2 capture. So I'm going to double click on it and say done. Now I have page 2, and I'll do the same process as far as getting the text box. I'm just going to page 1 and copy. Then I'll come down here and I'll start pasting. So here we go. Again, I'm just doing the Control-C and the Control-V, but once I have it Control-C, it's copied. I don't have to Control-C it again unless I'm going to change it or want to copy a smaller one. Go back up to page 1. I'm going to highlight the smaller one, do Control-C. Go back down here, page 2, and do a Control-V. Now I'm just going to drop those in here, Control-V again. So, oops, goes right there, right here. And one more. Okay, so now I've got my backgrounds, which is my actual worksheet. Excuse me, I put my text box in for the students to answer. I'm going to rename this presentation as Baseball Trainers I'm going to say both pages. All right, so now I have a name, and I've completed that. So I'm going to go to my classroom now and assign it to the students, the Google Classroom. So we'll go here, we'll go to the waffle iron, find my classroom. All right, this is my classroom. I'm going to go to classwork. I'm going to create an assignment. It's going to be called baseball strainers, both. We'll give the instruction, please complete the worksheet. All right, then I'm going to add, because I've already created my attachment. So I'm going to go to add. Now, when I did a Google slide, it saved it in my Google Drive. So I'll go to Google Drive. Recent is the first thing that pops up, and you can see right here, baseball strainers, both pages. So I'm going to double click on that. I want you to note right here on this drop down, this is important. If you only say students can view the file, they can only view it. They can't answer it online. If you say they can edit, they can make a lot of changes to it that you don't want changed when another student looks at it. So the best option is make a copy for each student. So select that. Excuse me, set a due date. We'll say the 29th, and then we're going to hit assign. All right, so it's working on that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to log out, and I'm going to sign in as a student and show you what it looks like. All right, so this student Lee test is in my classroom that I just made that assignment at. So I'm going to log in. All right, here's my classes I have. Double click. I go to classwork. All right, I've got one coming up due June 29th, baseball strainers both. I'm going to open it. Please complete the worksheet. All right, so I'll click on it. Here we are. Now, it tells me clean undergarments, city and state, and the team. Click here to answer. Okay, well, I don't want click here to answer to stay in there, so I'm going to take that out. We'll see, clean undergarments. Chicago, Illinois, the city and the state, and that would be the Chicago White Sox, or maybe it's just called White Sox. White Sox. Okay, a type of rattlesnake. Oh, let's see. That's the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks. And I don't know what city, but maybe that's Arizona. Now, as you can tell, I just go through here and answer, and it's saving this as Lee Test, which is my student, in my Google Drive. So, for example, maybe I want to change the color as a student. Well, I can do that. I just edit the font, pick my color, maybe change the size. If I want to type more, type less, whatever. So anyway, I would continue to fill out my work, and then I'm going to just close it when I'm done. We're going to pretend I completed that. All right, and so right there it is. Now I'm going to view my assignment, and I've done it, so I'm going to turn it in. So we'll say turn in. One attachment will be submitted, turn in. So as you notice, it's got Lee Test, which is my student name, on it. So now I will log out as the student. I'll log back in as the teacher to let you look at that direction. Open my class and see my classwork. Okay, so here we go. Baseball strainers. Looks like both right there. And I'm going to view the submission. And here we go. I can see what happened, what Lee Test turned in. Okay. That is how you take a PDF document and turn it into an editable document worksheet for your students to complete online.